It's been a week. Danielle has returned here with Blaze, and they're here to do their follow-up lesson. We've asked her to write down a couple of questions or concerns that they've had in the past week, and we're gonna work on them here today in the lesson. So let's go and see how they're doing.
So, when we are working with a long distance recalls, it's super important that we still practice first short distance before we automatically, all right, stay right there, let's try this. Because if you try to start automatically with 20 feet, you bet this guy's gonna be like, wait for me, and it's gonna fail. We always tell parents, even though if you know your dog can do that long distance, still test it out, because you bet your dog's probably gonna be like, yeah, right, I'm not doing that. And so right now, if he's trying to bite it, what I want you to do, grab the leash close to his collar and give him a good old pop and say no. No. And I want the pop to be a little bit more like firm. Okay. And then you just want to say, you want to give him a pause. If he looks at you, then you say good. Because if you just give pop and then say good right away, he thinks that you said good for him biting. Okay. So you want to give like a slight pause. And then if he gives you that eye contact of like, okay, I'm sorry, then you only say good because he checked up on you, okay, not for him nibbling on that. And so what you want to do is make sure that he's not stepping on it. And so go ahead and ask him for a sit.
Like, sit.
Nice. Yeah. You're going to say then, stay.
Please. Stay.
Take a few steps. Perfect.
She's on the right foot, right?
Yep. Yep. Nice catch though. Beautiful. And the fact, he catches it. So what you're gonna do is grab the leash, pop, and say no.
Nope. Please.
There you go.
Stay.
And so, yep, I only want you to take about there, right there. And all you're gonna do is say, Blaze, come, and you're also gonna do the same thing, and you're gonna reel in the leash. But you gotta make sure that if he tries to default to heel, you use your body to kind of guide him and take another step back so that he goes right in front. Because like, we don't want him to be patterning to sit sideways or crooked. So go ahead, say Blaze. Huh? Good, good, good. And as he's coming, yes, good. Now go ahead, ask him to down.
Down.
Good, now tell him stay. Step off with that right foot.
Stay.
Nice. Yep, very good with the leash. Very good. And then you can even back up a little bit because yes, he's also getting tired. Nope. No picking that up. So anytime that you have a dog that's getting distracted, because we will have moments where we do sometimes long distance recalls, and if you have a dog that is starting to sniff, starting to kind of get distracted by whatever, what I want you to do is always walk back. You never want to use the leash, because if we go correct with the leash, he's going to get up and be like, oh, you calling me? I thought the pulling of the leash meant you wanted me to come. So what we want to do is you would say no, and you would walk back, and you'd use your feet to guide him and be like, we're not chewing, we're not doing anything. Then he follows through, just say, good boy, good stay, and then you try that again. Because if we're using that, then he's understanding that he has to get up, and it's like, no, we're not. So right now, grab the leash, say no. We want to make sure we grab the leash as close to his collar, because then it gets raveled around.
Nope.
Grab him around, there you go. And then put him back in that down position. He's like, sorry, I got distracted, sorry. And say no, because he heard the gate. He's like, oh, do you hear that? And it's like, we don't care. So now you're gonna hold pressure. Anytime you give a pop release and then he chooses still not to listen after you told him once, okay, then you're gonna hold pressure and you're gonna wait for him to then go into that down position. Because if you're like, pop, no, no, down, 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 constant correction after correction, this guy's gonna, yeah. So what you do, one good correction, very loud and firm. After you do that, and he's still like that, hold, pressure down. And if he downs, you release and say, let's take a step back. Good, so that he understands. So right now, you can then take a step back because he's no longer sniffing. Anytime that he stops sniffing, you always want to take that step back to be like, all right, there you go. All I needed you to do is stay in your bubble, stay looking at me. You can look around, don't sniff, don't bite, just stay in that spot. So once again, you're gonna tell him stay. Back away, and he's also just about to tap out, so we'll do one long distance, back up a little bit more. So it reinforce that stay because he's looking at the human that's passing by.
Stay. Oh.
Walk back, say no. No. Correct, down.
Wait, down.
And then pop. No. And then now hold pressure. There you go, and say stay. Step off at the right. Good.
We're wrapping up Blaze's camp this week. His follow-up lesson went really well. Lucy had told me that Danielle was holding Blaze super accountable, and he came in doing his obedience super. And that's awesome to hear, just because we put in a lot of hard work, and just to hear that the parents are following through and the dog is succeeding is just something really amazing to hear. Danielle will be showing up to a lot of our group classes and training Blaze, but it is important that other people in the home practice with Blaze. It also is important that Blaze's dad comes. We don't want him just listening to Danielle again. We know that Danielle might not be home sometimes and Blaze's dad will be, and so we need to make sure that Blaze's dad is able to follow through with holding Blaze accountable and making sure that Blaze does succeed in any situation. We're so proud of Blaze and we're so excited to see them come back soon.